Hello, my name is Gislain Picard, and I'm going to present this work on the altimetric simulations using the SMRT model. Altimeters are very important tools to observe the ice sheet because they give access to one of the most important parameters, the surface topography. And by monitoring the change of these parameters, we can deduce the ice sheet mass balance and the surface, the contribution of the ice sheet to the sea level rise. In Europe, we have a very long series of altimeters with ERS, Envisat, Cryosat, Sentinel-3, and now we have a crystal in preparation, so a lot of questions around this mission. In principle, the altimetric signal is simple because it's just a pulse emitted from the satellite, echoed on the surface and received by the satellite, and the time gives the altitude. But in practice, especially on the snowpack, on a dry snowpack where we have penetration of the wave, we have something more complex due to the echo of the volume of the grains and of the layers in the snowpack. And because we retrieve the surface position, the surface altitude from the shape of the leading edge, a small change of this shape can lead to a major uncertainty, especially when we are looking for centimetric accuracy. And the shape of the surface echo and the volume echo depend on all the snow properties like roughness, density, grain size, temperature. And to understand that, we of course need a model. We cannot do that just by thinking about the different contribution. Instead of redeveloping a full model, we have based our work on the existing SMRT model. This model was initially developed for computation of the total emission and total backscatter, but we have extended it to compute the backscatter as a function of time, so the waveform that we have seen in the previous slide. The problem is split in two steps. In SMRT, we first compute the vertical profile of backscatter and the propagation speed in the layers in the snowpack, and then we integrate this information horizontally to account for the difference of echo within the footprint. And for that, we use a classical Browns model that was developed initially for the ocean. Now, with this extension, SMRT is able to take into account different snowpack properties like grain size, density, and temperature, and as well as the surface roughness. And as output, we get the radar waveform. The limitations of this approach is that we only work with LRM mode and with a plane surface. Then we have done a very extensive validation in Antarctica. For that, we have used in situ measurement taken during two major expeditions. And we have done this evaluation against Envisat, Altica, and Sentinel-3, which gives access to the three bands, S, Ku, and Ka, so a very wide range of bands. Here I show few examples where we have in blue the model output, the total power, and in black what was measured by the altimeters. And the good thing with the model is that we can also split the signal in the different contributions. So here we see that the surface has a strong contribution, and we see the volume. We see also the contribution of the interlayer interfaces. So we have done this validation, and we also have done a few sensitivity analysis. And the main result we have learned is that the surface echo is always the most important contribution, whatever the frequency. But especially at Ka band, the snow grains, the volume can contribute up to 40% of the signal. We have also observed higher backscatter when we are going from the coast to the South Pole, and we have been able to explain this evolution with the surface roughness. So the model attributes this to smoother surface. We also have explored all the wave penetration depth change as a function of the different parameters of the different frequencies. The next step of this work is to perform more detailed sensitivity analysis of the retracked parameters, especially the altitude, because this is in the end what we want. And SMRT can, because SMRT can model sea ice, it's going to be possible to investigate the benefit of using KU and Ka band combination to estimate snow depth and sea ice depth, sea ice thickness, and this is very important for the preparation of the crystal mission.